Welcome to my series 100 Scientists Who Influenced the World, where I've taken a diverse mix of people and broken them down into 10 different categories. There are some famous scientists as well as some lesser known ones, but all of these people have had an influence on the world. There are some scientists who've set out to inspire the public and improve their understanding through communicating the wonders of science across different media such as TV and books. So who are some of these champion communicators? Richard Dawkins. Richard Dawkins is an English evolutionary biologist born in 1941 in Kenya. His parents had an interest in the natural sciences and they would answer his questions in scientific terms. Dawkins first learned of Darwin's theory of evolution as a teenager before later going on to study zoology, teaching in America and then taking up a position as a lecturer at the University of Oxford. Dawkins really rose to fame in 1976 with the publication of his first book, The Selfish Gene, which explains how a gene drives its own reproduction and that organisms such as you and me simply assist these genes to continue. Another one of his masterpieces is the book Climbing Mount Improbable, which illustrates the beauty of evolution and highlights the unique adaptations of things such as figs, spiders and flightless birds. Dawkins has been a prominent voice in the communication of science. He was the first Simone Professor for the Public Understanding of Science at the University of Oxford, a position he held for 13 years, and he has hosted some of the Christmas lectures for the Royal Institution. Dawkins has also published numerous books and appeared on lots of different television programmes discussing evolution, different ideas and presenting science. Brian Cox. Brian Cox was born in 1968 in England. During the 1980s and 90s, Cox was working as a musician, playing keyboards with the band Dare before joining D-Ream, who had a UK #1 hit with the song Things Can Only Get Better. While working as a musician, Cox was also studying at the University of Manchester, receiving a doctorate in high-energy particle physics before working at that university as a particle physicist, conducting experiments at the Large Hadron Collider at CERN, and also publishing numerous papers. However, it is his work as a science communicator for which Cox is best known, hosting television programmes such as Wonders of the Solar System, Human Universe and Wonders of the Universe. On top of this, he has published multiple popular science books, some of which are linked to the aforementioned programmes, but there are others on a range of different scientific topics. He is also somewhat of a rock star of science communication, touring around the world, selling out arenas that are normally used for rock bands and screaming fans. But when Brian Cox is in town, there are thousands of people turning up excited to hear lectures in science from this excellent communicator. And I speak from experience, having attended some of these lectures myself. Neil deGrasse Tyson. Neil deGrasse Tyson is an African-American astrophysicist born in 1959 in New York. Growing up, his parents would take him and his siblings to places of culture, such as museums and art galleries. One of these trips was to the Hayden Planetarium at the American Museum of Natural History, and this is where his interest in astronomy was ignited. He would later go on to become the director of the Hayden Planetarium, a position which he holds to this day, and he has been responsible for making the space and science exhibits more engaging for the public. One of Tyson's greatest contributions to science is his work as a communicator. He has published numerous popular science books, including Astrophysics for People in a Hurry, Starry Messenger, and Just Visiting This Planet, and many more, all of which aim to make complex concepts accessible to the general public. He has also hosted the television programme Cosmos, A Space-Time Odyssey, and hosts the podcast Star Talk, again both of which aim to make complex concepts accessible. Tyson has become somewhat of a popular culture figure, appearing in multiple films and television shows including Batman v Superman, The Simpsons and The Big Bang Theory. Carl Sagan. Carl Sagan was born in 1934 in America. He earned 2 degrees in physics from the University of Chicago, a PhD in astronomy and astrophysics from the University of California, and then became a teacher at Harvard University. Sagan thought of the idea of sending messages out into the universe that could be understood by intelligent life. The last messages he helped with were the Voyager gold records, which were sent out on the Voyager probes that were launched in the 1970s. The Voyager 1 probe is now approximately 14.6 billion miles from Earth, and the Voyager 2 probe is approximately 12.3 billion miles from Earth. Sagan also helped set up the Planetary Society and was a member of the SETI Institute Board of Trustees. SETI stands for Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence. Sagan was also a gifted communicator, publishing popular science books such as The Dragons of Eden, as well as the fiction book Contact, which was made into a film starring Jodie Foster. Sagan also hosted the television programme Cosmos, which was viewed by around 500 million people worldwide and is considered one of the most popular science programmes of all time. Sir David Attenborough. Sir David Attenborough is one of the most recognised voices in science communication. Born in 1926 in England, the same year as the late Queen Elizabeth II, Attenborough grew up on the grounds of University College Leicester, now the University of Leicester, where his dad was the principal. As a child, he was interested in animals and the natural world, and would later go on to study natural sciences at university. Attenborough has written, produced and presented many award-winning television series, including Life on Earth, Living Planet, The Secret Life of Plants, The Life of Birds, The Life of Mammals and Blue Planet, as well as some which focus on environmental issues such as State of the Planet and Climate Change, The Facts. Attenborough is also the only person to have won a BAFTA for television series in black and white, colour, high definition and 3D. Attenborough is so popular within the natural sciences that there are over 10 different species of plants and animals which are named after him, as well as a British research vessel known as the RRS Sir David Attenborough. You're also likely familiar with his late brother Richard Attenborough, who played the role of John Hammond in the Jurassic Park series, as well as Kris Kringle in Miracle on 34th Street. Michio Kaku. Michio Kaku was born in 1947 in America to second-generation Japanese-American parents. After seeing a picture of Einstein's desk at the time of his death, Kaku was fascinated to learn that Einstein had never completed his unified field theory. Kaku set out to solve this problem for himself. By the time he was in high school, Kaku had managed to build his own atom smasher out of scrap metal and wire, which could produce a magnetic field stronger than that of the Earth's and also produce antimatter. This won him a scholarship and he completed his degree at Harvard University. In collaboration with a researcher at the University of Osaka, in 1978, Kaku published a paper describing string field theory, a branch of string theory. Kaku is perhaps best well known as a science communicator, publishing numerous popular science books on physics and related topics, and his books Physics of the Impossible, Physics of the Future of Mind and The God Equation are all New York Times bestsellers. Kaku also hosts a weekly radio show and has hosted television specials for the BBC, the Discovery Channel, the History Channel and the Science Channel, and has appeared on many other science television programmes. Alice Roberts. Alice Roberts was born in 1973 in England. Her father was an aeronautical engineer and her mother was an art teacher. When she was 10, Roberts won a Blue Peter Young Artist Award, however it was science that interested her more, going on to study medicine at university. Roberts then worked for the National Health Service before taking up a position at the University of Bristol while also studying for her PhD in paleopathology, which is the study of diseases in ancient humans. Science communication is where Roberts has really made a name for herself, co-hosting Christmas lectures for the Royal Institution. She is the president for the British Science Association, and she also hosted a 10-part series on BBC Radio 4 all about the human body entitled Bodies. Roberts has also presented or appeared in numerous popular science television programmes such as Time Team and Prehistoric Autopsy, and she also travelled all around the world for her documentary series The Incredible Human Journey, which explored the migration of humans throughout the world. Roberts has also written numerous popular science books shedding light on ancient humans with a narrative style that is engaging, easy to follow and really brings science to life. Helen Czerski. Helen Czerski was born in 1978 and is a British physicist, oceanographer and television presenter. She received 2 master's degrees in natural sciences with physics from the University of Cambridge, as well as a PhD. She is a regular presenter of BBC science programmes, including Orbit, Earth's Extraordinary Journey and Dara O'Brien's Science Club, and she has also hosted the Christmas lectures for the Royal Institution. Czerski also is a regular contributor to BBC Focus with the column Everyday Science and the Wall Street Journal with the column Everyday Physics. She has also written popular science books such as Storm in a Teacup and The Blue Machine. In 2018, Czerski won the William Thomson Lord Kelvin Medal and Prize from the Institute of Physics for her work in championing the physics of everyday life. Bill Nye. William Nye, better known as Bill Nye the Science Guy, was born in 1955 in the United States. Nye attended Cornell University and received a degree in mechanical engineering, and his interest in science became greater when he attended an astronomy class which was being taught by Carl Sagan. After university, Nye worked for Boeing, inventing and designing parts for aeroplanes. However, he was really interested in stand-up comedy. This led to him leaving Boeing and taking small parts on multiple television programs where he was delivering science, and this led to him receiving the name Bill Nye the Science Guy. In the 1990s, he successfully pitched a television program which would communicate science to the general public, and this was appropriately named Bill Nye the Science Guy. This program proved popular with kids and parents alike, and it received 19 Emmy wins over its 5-year run, including one for Nye's performance on the show. When the show ended, Nye continued his work in science communication, becoming the CEO of the Planetary Society and also publishing 2 popular science books, Undeniable and Unstoppable. Nye also recently had a successful Netflix show, Bill Nye Saves the World, and his most recent television show, The End Is Nigh, premiered in 2022. Nye also helped design solar panels for the Mars rover missions. Isaac Asimov. Isaac Asimov was born on an unknown date between October the 4th, 1919 and January the 2nd, 1920 in Russia, although he chose to celebrate his birthday on January the 2nd. He was taken to the United States when he was 3, and there he learned English and Yiddish as his native languages. Asimov is best well known for his science fiction books and is considered one of the big 3 science fiction writers during his lifetime, along with Robert A. Heinlein and Arthur C. Clarke. Asimov's books have had a lasting impact on the world of popular science fiction, especially his 3 Rules for Robots based on his thoughts about artificial intelligence. His books have also inspired numerous films and television series, including Bicentennial Man starring Robin Williams, I, Robot starring Will Smith, and the recent Apple TV series Foundation. Along with his science fiction books, Asimov also published non-fiction books about science, but these looked at the history of science when it was at its simplest stage. Asimov's approach to writing was not to write long complex prose that could win awards, but to build a relationship with his reader, and his work has continued to inspire science fiction writers and scientists to this very day. Thank you for watching this video in my series 100 Scientists Who Influenced the World. The information for this video came from the books 100 Scientists Who Made History and the Britannica Guide to the 100 Most Influential Scientists, as well as from various sources across the internet. If you liked this video, be sure to hit the like and subscribe buttons to stay up to date on all future releases, and be sure to check out the other videos I've made, such as my STEM demonstration and explanation videos, my STEM career interviews, and my robot review videos. This has been STEM with Mr. N's 100 Scientists Who Influenced the World, Champion Communicators.